Hey everyone, and welcome to our very first community top 10 results video. First of all, I'd like to really thank everyone who participated and voted on their favorite puzzle game. To be honest, I wasn't sure what kind of response I could expect, but it seemed a lot of you guys liked the idea. A total of 54 people sent in their nominations, and there was even a video response. Just awesome, thanks guys. A total of 53 games were nominated, but there can only be 10 on this list, and we're going to name those right now. So let's dive straight in and let's go.
Number 10.
With 3 votes each, there was actually a tie for 10th place between 2 games. However, it was PopCap's Rise to Glory that got the 3rd vote first. So the 10th spot goes to Bejeweled, the game that put PopCap games on the map and started a match-free craze like nothing else. Millions of people got hooked to the simple yet addicting gameplay and still are. This might be the game on the list that is most imitated by other game developers. You can find a match-free type game pretty much everywhere nowadays. Did you know that Bejeweled was actually not the first game to use this concept? Those Russians just aren't lucky when it comes to cashing in on their puzzle ideas, it seems.
Number 9.
Out of the 3 games that got 4 votes, this one got its final vote last. On the number 9 spot we find Sega's answer to the puzzle hype that Tetris had started. In 1990 they bought the rights to this classic and with great success. I am of course talking about Columns. During the big N versus S discussions back in the day, it was often this game that was called upon to defend Sega's case when it came down to the best puzzler. With its addicting gameplay and its charming music, it mesmerized a lot of people, to later quickly humiliate them as the speed caught up with the players. But we kept coming back. I know I can blame this game for not being able to experience much of the Game Gear, as Granny was constantly hogging the thing to beat her high score in this true classic.
Number 8.
The number 8 spot goes to Luminous, which also got a total of 4 votes. Stacking blocks in the playing field has been done countless times before, with little to no real advancements for a good while. How surprising it was when we got introduced to Luminous back in 2005, with its refreshing take on the genre. A good concept of making squares on its own, but what really set it apart was the integration of the music into the experience. It is no surprise that this game is often considered a must-have for Sony's handheld.
Number 7.
There can only be one number 7, and it is Peggle that claimed this position first. Another one of PopCap's great successes, and a game that pretty much everyone has tried. Yeah, the hardcore gamers out there may deny that they have ever touched the game with all its cutery and rainbow stuff, but even they are not safe for the addictiveness that is Peggle. This is the only game in which a well-calculated and planned shot can be trumped by an accidental slip of the mouse that gets away with it.
Number 6.
With 5 votes we find Tetris Attack at number 6, or if you prefer Pokemon Puzzle League, as they pretty much offer the same gameplay. Originally called Panel de Pom, Nintendo rebranded it with one of their more devious plots to get us Western gamers to buy their game. As the game has pretty much nothing in common with Tetris and requires a completely different playstyle. Luckily for us, this game was a lot of fun regardless, and soon enough it had everyone hooked on its gameplay, which requires a lot of skill, speed and timing to get the bigger combos and chains going.
Number 5.
This game type has gotten many names over the year, like Kirby's Ghost Trap, Puyo Puyo and Puyo Pop to name a few. But the one that's probably most remembered is of course Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. With 9 votes we find this game, or series rather, at number 5. And if there's one thing these games have shown us, it's that puzzle games can also be very competitive. These games are easily the most competitive on the list, being played at many tournament settings. Interestingly enough, this was also arguably Dr. Robotnik's best opportunity to ever achieve his goals. He's a pushover in most games, but here, even on easy he'll mop the floor with you.
Number 4.
These guys have built bridges to hearts of many gamers over the years, and they have received 9 votes first. Thus the Lemmings claim the 4th spot. Using the different abilities of the Lemmings, this game really had you thinking on how to get them to the exit safely. Things were never as easy as they seemed, as the game had plenty of evil surprises along the way, which usually ended up bad for the poor guys. Reaching the end of the harder levels felt like a true accomplishment, and even if you didn't make it, you at least could get some pleasure out of mass murdering the whole lot.
Number 3.
And we've entered the top 3 now, and with 10 votes it is Mario who claims third place in his doctor's outfit with Dr. Mario. Fighting a cold has never been as much fun as in this game, especially in multiplayer where you could decide who was the quicker healer. Very easy to learn and fun to master to a point where players develop crazy amounts of speed in manipulating the pills to destroy those pesky viruses. And apart from just being a great game on its own, it's even educational. Pills belong in jars, kids, especially the brightly colored ones. Never ever trust the brightly colored ones.
Number 2.
We're busting some bubbles. At number 2 with 11 votes, I am of course talking about Puzzle Bobble, otherwise known as Bust a Move. A spin-off from Bubble Bobble, this puzzler has you making precise shots to get rid of all the colored bubbles on the board. A great mix of figuring out the best position for the next shot and skillfully placing said shot, all while fighting against time on the ever-shrinking playing field. The level can be hard, but a failure almost always has you shouting at yourself and not the game.
Number 1.
As we started with a Russian idea, it is only fitting to also close with one. This should come as no surprise. With an overwhelming lead with 35 votes, it is Tetris that takes first place. What is there to tell about Tetris really that has not been said already? Even non-gamers know exactly what it is. It spelled out success for the original Game Boy even before many A titles were released for it. It was the perfect game for a handheld, and never did we see as much green colors as in those early days, when this concept just blew us away and kept us hooked for years and years to come. And I'm sure that it will still be the case for a while longer. Tetris stands pretty much synonymous for puzzle games itself these days, and it's no wonder that this giant is still leading the pack. Well guys, that was our first community top 10. If your favorites weren't on the list, then don't worry, there'll be other lists to vote on. Speaking of which, it is now time to reveal the next topic to vote on. As promised, I drew someone out of the participant at random who got to choose the next topic. This time, this is James Kaiser from the Retro Man Presents channel. He sent in a little video to explain his idea to everyone himself, so over to you, James.
Hi there, James Kaiser here, bringing you my idea for the next community top 10. Now, for the next community top 10, I am going to be choosing the top 10 weirdest bosses in video games. Now, the definition of weird could mean anything to each person, so it's going to be interesting to see what you pick. But if you need an example, one example is in Sexy Parodius, where one of the bosses is a big giant, so let's say, raccoon, and the way to beat him is to like shoot him at his private areas. So something along that line. Well, that's to me, but to you it could mean weird. Could mean anything like how to beat a boss, what the boss looks like, anything. So I hope my top 10 idea is good enough for you, for you all. So yeah, cheers.
Alright James, thank you so much for sending in that video response. If anyone wants to check out his channel, then you can find a link to it in the video's description. I think this is an excellent list to vote on, and I'm very much looking forward to all the nominations that we'll be seeing. This is going to be very interesting, I think. So just send in your nominations for the maximum 3 boss fights that you think are the weirdest. After a week I will tally out the results and of course draw another person who will choose the next topic we'll be voting on. If you want to increase your chances of picking the next topic, then send in your votes by video response, which will get you 3 chances instead of just 1. Well guys, that was the list. I hope you enjoyed it, and I would like to thank everyone very much for watching. Until next time guys, happy voting!